Hello, and welcome to episode 128 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of all things Nintendo. My name is Kevin, and joining me this week in the 128th episode is Harrison. Harrison, why is that number significant?
Right, 128. I was thinking of 128-bit. So I thought we have
Hmm.
to go around in a circle, although there's only two of us today. We go
Yeah.
around and we just name a random GameCube 128-bit game that we like or that we're thinking about today. So I'll go first. I woke up today. I was thinking about Super Monkey Ball 2. Don't know why, honestly.
Hmm.
It's a great
That'll
game.
be on the service at some point. It
Yeah,
better be.
it's probably it's my favorite Super Monkey Ball game, and I was pretty into that series in that generation. So that's the one that was just in my mind. So how about you?
Well, speaking of 128, there's also the Super Mario 128 demo, which people have seen where they were showing off how many uh, characters they could have on a screen at a time without dropping frame rate. And that led to eventually Pikmin. So that one's an honorable mention. Everybody knows Pikmin, but it just ties into the 128. So I wanted to put it there. So the game I want to mention is underrated gem. It's called Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This was a one and done by Sega, who put out that was like when Sega was transitioning from having their own system to being a third party company. And they definitely preferred GameCube in that era. They put out a ton of Sonic stuff, but this was a one and done. And I highly recommend it. I hope this comes to the service as well because Sega has put a few things on there. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. It's a collectathon, um, it's a Mario like game.
Oh, so we both picked Sega then.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's great. That's Sega. That's another option for you. You're looking at older IPs. That's one that.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorist in me feels like some of these things that go on on Nintendo Switch Online um are like subtle testing to see if they should bring a series back. Like I wonder if they're getting the data on how much people are playing them or just how much buzz the upload in the first place is getting online. Like, oh wow, this game's on Switch Online now. And if a lot of people are excited about it, they're like, hey, there's still interest in this series. So
Yeah.
put it out there.
Exactly. Great. Great. Yeah, love the GameCube era. Episode 128. So what else is going on? We're doing a little just a tad shorter episode today,
Mhm.
and we'll have uploads for everyone. It's gonna feel probably pretty normal overall with uploads, but we'll be off for a couple weeks unless there's a little um direct going on. Who knows? Were there any like news items or anything from the week you wanted to talk about?
There was the rumor that I'd just like to put out there that a Banjo-Kazooie game was apparently shelved because we got this news in two chunks. The first was that Greg Mayles, I think is his name, left the company after 35 years, and he was heavily involved in Banjo-Kazooie. And then a little later in the week, they broke this rumor that apparently there was a Banjo-Kazooie game that was in development, and Microsoft had apparently canceled it. That's according to Nate the Hate, who does a lot of Nintendo rumors. It's easier to have a rumor about a game that's not coming out than a rumor about one that is, but still, he says that they haven't heard anything from the project in a while and that it's been canned. So I don't know. I think someday there's going to be a great YouTube series about the how cursed the third, and I'm not counting the other games. This is the third Banjo game. Um, how cursed it's been, and eventually there will be a game and then we'll just talk about how, hey, it'll be more interesting than the game itself. The conversation, no matter how good the game is, will be all about how many failed attempts there were to get this game out there.
Huh. Huh. Well, that is true. Wow, it's so fun to like have that level of, like I wish I could make rumors about a game that doesn't come out
Yeah.
and have people react to it. That's so much fun. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Like,
Yeah.
prove to me that this is a game that was planned that didn't come out and now it's not out.
Yeah. You
So
heard it here first on Nintendo Therapy. There was a recently canceled Glover sequel, Glover for the Nintendo 64. People probably remember, and they just did a remake for the Switch. Yeah, that had a sequel that was canceled. Prove me wrong.
yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
exactly. So okay, that's
Anything catch your attention this week on the internet, Saracen?
uh Nintendo dropped a Bananza overview trailer, which was just
Mm.
taking their 20-minute direct and putting it into 8 minutes, and that will come out the 17th. So that will be out during our break. Are you picking this game up now or later?
Bonanza? I'm
Bonanza,
getting
yeah.
Bonanza day 1, which is adding to my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater FOMO right now because I see people online talking about if you pre-ordered the game, you got the demo became available this week. So I've been seeing people talk about the demo and how much they like it, and I'm just like, "Yeah, that was gonna be me," but then then Donkey Kong looked awesome. So I'm gonna be having a Tony Hawk Christmas is what I'm gonna be doing because
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, I never 100% completed the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster they put out. I did about half of it. So I still got those careers to finish, and then I'm gonna get this one. So
Yeah.
that'll be later down the line, but I'm just seeing everybody else post playing the demo, and I'm like, it could have been me, but I'll feel good next in a what is it, like 2, 3 weeks when DK drops and I can participate in that hype.
Yeah, that's it's honestly not a game you should. I think it's a game you should get full price because that's an Activision game that's gonna go on sale 40%
Mm,
off all the time. The 1 and 2 is on sale all the time, and I know I got it on sale. Um, it's it's probably worth full price. Yeah, I'm sure there's
yeah.
enough content there where it's worth full price, but
There's also that that exclusive skater you get for pre-ordering that I'm kinda bummed I won't get. It's like an alternate skin for Tony Hawk. It's like, I'm so susceptible to marketing and stupid things like that. Like, I know it's stupid, but I also at the same time, I'm like, "Oh, but it's something I'm gonna be missing."
yeah, yeah. I mean, no, I don't think it's like stupid. You like what you like. I don't like that decision so much by them. We might as well do it now. Let's do your 1 month check-in. It's been I can't believe it's been 1 month, pretty much exactly from recording this that Switch 2 came out. So
Mhm.
any updates you want to share? How you feeling?
Well, I never played Pokemon Arceus on the original Switch, but I'm imagining the load times are better because I see how often the game does have to load when I switch areas and stuff like that, but I'm also noticing it's not an inconvenience. One place where I can talk about the difference is I've brought my Animal Crossing island over, and it's so much quicker to load, like going in and out of Tom Nook's store, for example. It's like I used to of literally there would be times where I'd avoid going into the store just because I didn't want to deal with the load time on the Switch. I would just like hoard things and do it all in one trip rather than casually going back and forth. And now it's performing much better on the Switch too, and I will sometimes casually just pop in. Uh, what else have I been playing on the Switch too? Pokemon Arceus mainly. I do wanna do another playthrough of Breath of the Wild and with the phone app and hear all those voice notes. I haven't done that yet, but I will probably at some point this year. I've been playing the Mega Man games. They run really good on there. I'm Mega Man 8, almost done with that. What else have I been playing? I need to keep a list of like my now playing. We talked about that last week. Oh, randomly, see all the stuff I'm playing on there isn't even Switch 2 stuff, but that's why I'm looking forward to Bonanza so much. It'll be my first real Switch 2 experience. The other game that I randomly started the other day is I'm about halfway into the original Zelda game. I booted that up on Nintendo Switch Online and did like the first like 5 dungeons.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I've been waiting for us to post that one, because
Mhm.
I don't wanna, like I did a whole playthrough of it last year, and, yeah, I've shared my thoughts on it, but yeah.
Oh, I also started Doom 3 and then abandoned it. I'm gonna have to play that another time because I prefer to play the Doom games with infinite ammo cheats just because I'm a cheater and that's how I like to play them. And the cheats don't work on any of the console versions of Doom except I think Xbox. I saw conflicting reports, but yeah, there's no cheat system for Doom 3 on console, which I don't like. I want my cheats. I want my infinite ammo.
Can't believe it's been a month already. Man, that was fast. It felt
Yeah.
it feel fast to you? It felt fast to me.
Yeah, it did. I also finished. It's all coming to me now. Grand Theft Auto 3, which you'll see in a bonus episode. My thoughts on that coming up. But the definitive edition, uh, again, it this one I can speak to. It runs better. So games do run better on the Switch too. On the original Switch, I don't know what causes this to be fixed on the Switch 2, but I never saw it happen was when I played that on the first Switch, I would get this error where like when I would respawn or I would load my file up, it would randomly generate a bunch of the cars all into the same spot and it would just be this like flaming pile of cars that would explode and it stopped doing that when I started playing it on the Switch too, but it was like this really weird glitch where instead of randomly generating traffic, it randomly generated all of the cars on top of each other.
Yeah, that the development of that, trilogy is gonna be remembered for I think forever, because
Mhm.
I think when I first picked it up, it was pretty bad, and now it's to the
Yeah. It
point
was a
where
small studio. I don't know
yeah.
why they gave it to them.
Yeah, and who knows what it means for, like, other, like, big studios for the future, like, CD Projekt Red made sure to do their own port of Cyberpunk to the Switch 2, but that's very rare that you would actually see a developer take that own that task on their own, is what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. So yeah, I actually saw the Switch 2 in person for the first time, like, the other day. I was at the mall and finally got to see it. It released, the 26th where I live. So, it was the first time I actually got to see one in person, and it was just kinda crazy how, like, anticlimactic it was, like, I just I saw
Hmm.
it in the store, and it was like, wow, like, it's something that, like, if I would were to see it, like, a few months ago, I would've been like, "Wow!" But now that, like, it's
I
out,
think the
it's like
leaks I think the leaks really did spoil a little bit of it. I think it would have been a cooler I don't know. I think the reveal would have just felt different if we didn't know ahead of time, hey, this is basically going to look exactly like a Switch but bigger. And we saw that reveal trailer with the the Joy-Cons growing and things like that. I feel like it would have left a better impression if we weren't spoiled.
yeah, it was less of like a "it's here" kind of moment, it's
Mhm,
I even with, like I told you, like, Tears of the Kingdom, like, I didn't finish it, but, like, when I first got the game, I just, like I took so much time in my hand just going, like, "I can't believe it's finally, like, here." It was, like, one of those
mhm,
moments. It's like my favorite part of a concert, honestly. It's like my
mhm,
favorite part of a concert, like, when they come out and you have that moment of, like this guy's actually here, and he's like hanging out with us now. It's
Mhm.
like that realization. So yeah, yeah, and I got to see the camera and the whatever the flower the flower
The piranha
camera.
plant?
Yeah, piranha
Yeah.
plant camera. What am I trying to say? Uh, and yeah, other things going on with Nintendo. I noticed that with the trailers, if it's still um on Switch One, they're still using the Switch One intro, which makes sense because it's a way bigger install base at
Mhm.
this point. But I noticed for like games like Locomoto or whatever other trailers I was watching this week, if it's on Switch One, they still use the Switch One intro on their trailers.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo is very, like, slow to make the transition sometimes. It was the same way when the DS and the 3DS were kind of coexisting is, there were a lot of people who wondered why certain games got a DS release and not a 3DS release or things like that. I think, like you said, they just know they have that install base right now, and it's gonna be, PlayStation is doing the same thing. Like, the main criticism of the PS5 has been, like, almost every game worth playing on it is also on the PS4. They have not given up on the PS4 yet, so, it's just, I guess, the way things go now. They're not gonna cut off that user base.
But the rollout seems okay, and this week they did have some trailers featuring Switch 2 games. WWE 2K25
Mhm,
looks awesome on Switch 2 if this is what they're actually getting, because it looks like they're going to be getting the like PS5 version, but of course, you know, it's going to be on a handheld system. And of course, I do bring this up as well to talk about, you know, because 2K18 was like notorious as being like the worst running Switch 1 game, and then after that, never got a WWE release on a Switch system after that. So this is the first one we've had in 7 years. So it would almost be a full circle moment. But this is going to be a game key card. I saw a lot of people pointing it out that when they show off the the box art at the end, they're covering the key card uh logo on there, like the show that it is a key card. And
mhm.
yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that this week as well. It's pretty clear that the solution for Nintendo is that they need to offer developers different sizes of key cards because, yeah, if you're an indie developer with a $20 game, you can't afford to have a 64 gigabyte cart to put your 5 gigabyte game, just, you know, for example, on there. So clearly the easy solution is to offer, you know, like whatever would be 4 8 16 or like 5 10 16 32 to developers, because I don't think this backlash of key cards is going to stop. I really think that it's going to just hurt developers in the long run and kind of hurt developers on launch a little bit. It might have been seen as a good solution, but clearly they're seeing that already it's not something that's going to last. My prediction is that it kind of it evens out a little bit as we go on. Yeah.
Well, we also got Mario Strikers on
Yes, that
there,
was next
so
one.
we can say first month into Switch 2, and they're already adding to the service another GameCube game. Not the one that I thought they were gonna go with for their next upload, but it's one of the few games they previewed in that little preview. I will say it's kind of a tease that if you have the GameCube controller, you know how if you play with those official Nintendo controllers, the sound effects change on Switch Online? Well, the sound effects change to Mario Sunshine if you use the GameCube controller. So it's kind of a tease that Mario Sunshine's not on there yet. I know I have my 3D All-Stars version, but still it's kind of not cool. And then also if you go into the GameCube options and you turn on the CRT filter, the image that it shows to show you what the CRT filter is doing is of Mario Sunshine. So I'm just like, come on, guys, I want to play that. Why are you teasing me?
Yeah, there's been a lot of interesting decisions with that so far. From not having Mario Sunshine to having the version of Wind Waker that we probably wouldn't prefer, which I didn't really think about too much until I saw some videos of people being like, Wind Waker's my favorite game, and I think people should experience the Wii U version of it. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, Mario Strikers is the biggest surprise of the week for me. I just think it's so funny is that like people are saying that they finally have a good Mario Strikers game on Switch, finally, because like nobody liked the Switch game that came out, uh, whatever that one was.
Well, let's go
Uh,
down the list because I have it in front of me. So the games that they could have put out, I'll skip over the ones that are already on there. But Mario Sunshine, we mentioned. They've also told us, showed us in that presentation, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. There's Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. There's Luigi's Mansion, which they're probably going to do seasonally. Like that'll probably be somewhere around Halloween. Pokemon Coliseum and Chibi Robo are all the ones I would have thought Chibi Robo would have been the next one. It's like kind of a quirky pick, kind of something Nintendo wants to rub in our faces and be like, "See, you didn't give this game a chance. Look how cool it is now that you have it."
uh, yeah, those are all the games that are announced.
Those are the games that like when they announced that GameCube was
Yeah.
coming, they showed in the bottom of the screen in like that
Mhm.
little scroll. So they don't have like dates or anything, but they've basically said yes, these will be here at
Right.
some point.
Right. Right. Man, yeah, um there's some good ones in there. Like Coliseum's an easy one since we already have Stadium 1 and 2. And there's just gonna be some heavy hitters for GameCube. Like the library isn't massive for GameCube, so it's gonna be interesting to see
Hmm.
like how they deal with it. I'm interested to see did they grow their relationship with EA enough where we can get some more EA games, Time Splitters, other EA games on NSO service.
I'm curious if those Sonic games will come over too, because they did a lot of Sonic on GameCube. Uh, Skies of Arcadia, I think, is also Sega, maybe? Question
Mhm.
mark. But that got a GameCube release, and that's a game that is on my backlog that has been on my backlog since the Dreamcast, and I would love for them to put it on there because I will finish it finally.
Yeah. And how do they handle, you know, games that are huge IPs that would be highly successful with this service with online play? Because yeah, like
Mm.
it's great that you could offer online play as a way to advertise your service, but I mean, are we getting Melee? Because
I don't know if we'll get Melee, but as far as the online aspect goes, correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, in the comments down below, but I think the game chat feature works for GameCube channel. So that kind of indicates there will be some sort of online play for something.
Right. I think game chat does work for all those NSO games,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is like, I mean, do we get Melee? And then if we ever got Melee, would they give us online play? Because it's the same deal
Hmm.
that I talked about why we're probably never going to get Animal Crossing for NSO,
No, I
or we're
agree. I
probably
don't
never going to get,
I think they're gonna
you know,
focus too much on the new release, and I don't
yeah,
think they'll ever give us
yeah.
Melee on there, especially I agree. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but and also at the same time, like Melee, I pretty sure it's my favorite Smash. So if we ever got Melee and I didn't have a Switch 2, that would feel bad.
Mhm.
Just on a personal level, but hey,
Or the
so
Pokemon games, putting those on there and letting you trade would be nice,
that's
but
the
they
other one.
won't.
So yeah. Pokemon,
Yeah.
Animal Crossing. There's yeah, Smash.
Which
I
is
just
aggravating for me because I love Graveler and you can't get him without trading.
so that yeah.
Or
So
not
I
Graveler, what was the
Gollum,
level above? Um,
Gollum.
yeah, Gollum. You need to trade a Graveler to get Gollum.
Hmm, okay. Yeah, Mario Strikers, NSO. Uh, very, very shocked that we got that, and yeah, I guess it's the best Mario Strikers game on
Yeah, I'll admit I'll be playing it
Switch
with my
now.
family on the 4th, so maybe that was their thinking. Hey, people are going to be getting together, put something multiplayer on there.
And what a better
Oh,
way to
so
celebrate.
no, sorry. I just want to throw one more GameCube suspicion out there. I wonder if we'll get the Mario Party games because they gave us the Nintendo 64 ones. So that'll be great to have on there.
Yeah, do four next. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, or just do four, five, six, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but you cut off the funny thing I was gonna say, so I'm gonna say it
Sorry.
now. Yeah, what a better way to celebrate America by playing some soccer. That's what I was gonna say. That's it. That's it.
Oh, I thought you were
That's it.
transitioning to something else. Yeah.
No, that's no. I wanted to hang on the. This is America. Soccer game. I don't. Perfect Dark's not gonna happen.
Oh yeah, that also got canceled.
I have a whole
Um,
bunch of other things that are either
so maybe
canceled or
the
in there.
original will come to Nintendo Switch Online for the Nintendo 64. They need more on that. What is that thing called where it's
It,
like for adults only or
it's
whatever, the
on there
adult
already, isn't
tier?
it?
Oh, you're
It's
right.
already
You're
on
right. I
there.
completely
It's
forgot.
it's it's already on
Man, I
there.
got to get to that.
So give us the but what was the next Perfect Dark game on?
Zero, I think.
Yeah,
They'd had PlayStation 2 ones. Let me
PS2,
look.
right? It
Perfect.
wasn't GameCube though.
But they had a GameCube one, I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. All right, there was Perfect Dark Zero. Was this the one that came it came to Xbox? Looks like that one was only on Xbox. And then Xbox 360. No, I thought they had a GameCube one. I was wrong.
Oh, well, okay.
They had a Game Boy Color one. They could put that one on there, but I doubt they will.
Uh, yeah, and I mean, I don't know like how anyone would really like. It was in development. There was no news on it, and we could have just. I mean, I was thinking, oh, it could be like just a live service shooter game that has the
Mm,
Perfect Dark title on it. So to me, there was really nothing outside of like the name that would have attract me to this project at all. Because there was no trailer or anything that showed there was going to be some kind of connection to the original game. Original game's on the service, go play it. It is a classic, but yeah, Xbox.
oh,
Yeah.
did we talk on here about that cave the collection of the Caveman Ninja games that came out, which is really weird because all of those games are literally already on Nintendo Switch Online with all of the features that are being advertised. It's like rewind gameplay. It's like you can do that already. Save states, you can do that already. Like it's so weird because it's a 3 game collection and all 3 games are already on Nintendo Switch Online. No enhancements.
Yeah, it's just to confuse people or offer something to collectors.
Yeah.
Huh.
I just didn't think Joe and Mac were that big, like that they have a following, but I guess their marketing department knows more than I do.
I don't even know anymore. And some of these games like there's like games that are coming out there's get games like that came out like recently on Switch One that are now getting like paid upgrades on Switch Two, but like the paid
Mhm.
upgrade is like which game did I see that like the paid up um oh it's that Fantasy Life game. Yeah, Fantasy Life, the paid upgrade is like $3. I'm like, why? Like, do you guys
Hmm.
really need that?
Oh my god. You know what you just reminded me of? Um, Even worse than that is I don't remember if you had a Wii U, but when the Wii U came out, there were games on the eShop that, if you bought it on your Wii, you could upgrade it to a Wii U version. You had to pay $1. And I was just like, why? Why bother with the dollar, guys? Just let me bring it over.
Well, that's
And
not
there weren't even new games. These were like Nintendo 64 games.
at least that's not why the Wii U failed. So,
Yeah.
at least at least there's that. So yeah, and then the other negative news item is that they're raising Switch One prices, which would have been a perfect uh prediction for us to make. I mean, they're raising them in Canada, but I'm pretty sure
Oh yeah.
they're gonna raise them everywhere. And this is
For
just
Switch
like the
Online, yeah.
this is just like the why not, like, hey, Switch 2 sold a lot, so clearly this means that we can, raise our prices. And the whole Doug Bowser, like, we have an affordable uh Switch for you if you can't afford the Switch 2. What's up with that, Doug Bowser?
Yeah, and
So
it's also weird how slight the price increase is, which I guess, like, if you gotta take the poison, take the lesser poison, but, I don't know if you looked into the price, but, um, basically a 1-month plan went up by $1, the 4.99 tier went up to 5.99, a 12-month individual plan went from 24.99 to 29.99, so it's 4 more dollars over the course of a year. Yeah, what's the family one? Family for 12-month went from $99 to $109, so $10 over the course of a year. It's a very small increase, but it's almost like why bother at that point?
it yeah, it's just gonna get to the point where all the other streaming is gonna get to. Like, other
Mhm.
streaming has gotten to this point, and I think like Game Pass is gonna get to this point, and it's kind of getting to this point already where more and more people are gonna just gonna be like, why? Or like, enough, like it's more just about like the principle of all of it. But aren't they raising
Well,
the
I've already
actual?
gotten to the point where I have to pick my service, and I picked Nintendo. Like, I used to have, all 3. I used to have Game Pass and, PlayStation Plus, and I'm letting my then I got down to just Nintendo and PlayStation Plus, and now I'm down to it's just gonna be Nintendo now.
And aren't they raising the actual hardware prices as well in Canada?
That I
Um,
don't know. I didn't see that as widely
yeah,
reported. Let me fact check you live.
yeah, pretty sure Switch One hardware in Canada is increasing. But I did not link my source on this one.
Based on marketing conditions. Pricing for original Nintendo Switch family of systems and products in Canada will change based on marketing conditions. So it looks like they haven't said officially what the price would be yet because it's not. I'm on the official Nintendo site and there's no price, or they're not saying a new price anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna act like I know what Canadian money is. I
Yeah,
it's got like children playing hockey on it, I think. I'm not really too sure. Uh,
we need a Mario hockey game.
it's gonna be a $20 increase or something.
Yeah,
I don't think
well,
I don't think they would like. I would hope they wouldn't go up to
enjoy
like
your health
350.
care, Canada.
Yeah, and enjoy your milk in a bag. whatever else goes on
Uh,
up there. Um,
yeah. Sorry, guys. Hey, it's July 4th when this goes up. We shouldn't be talking about Canada. They already had Canada Day.
yeah, it's gonna happen everywhere. I just wish I would have made that prediction of like, oh yeah, like if Switch 2 does well, like there's no way Switch 1 prices stay the same. Uh, those are gonna go up also.
We'll have to
Because
wait and
now
see.
because you could raise it to 350 or 350 and 400 and still call it, the cheaper system. So anyways, that is all they I guess
Well,
fun.
I don't think the system price will change in North America. We'll have time. I think Nintendo Switch Online price is going to go up. That is a sure thing, but I think they'll keep that system price pretty set. But we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I guess it was a slow. Yeah, this was kind of a slow news week. Besides that, not playing anything else, so we do our
Yeah,
spotlight.
let's hop into this spotlight. So the
Oh,
spotlight game this week, we played a double feature of Grandius. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We'll st-
Is it Gradia or Gradius?
Gradius. Okay.
Gradius. Sorry.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Gradius, yeah, you're right. I spelled this wrong in my notes. I put an N in there. All right. So I was pronouncing it incorrectly. Gradius came out for the original Nintendo in Japan in April of 1986 and December of 86 in North America. Then it got a Game Boy version. Then it got another Game Boy version. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's stick to this NES one. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up where you pilot the Vic Viper is the name of the ship. It's this starfighter uh, spaceship thing. You're on rails going through side-scrolly. Released by Konami. It's one of the earliest and most influential horizontal shooters on the NES system. It was known for its innovative power-ups, where instead of grabbing random upgrades, you collect capsules that let you choose when to activate specific abilities like speed up, missiles, double shot, things like that. And really cool, I didn't know this until I looked into it for this week. It's one of the earliest Konami games to feature the now famous Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. It granted players, if you put it in, a full set of power-ups, and it's just a legendary cheat now. So what did you think of the game?
Right, an impressive game for the time, and much like other games that came out during the time, was better on the arcade system because, of course, they had limitations, and was very
Mhm,
impressive with what they were able to do later on, which is what we see. Like you see the development between Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3. You'll never see a bigger jump um, within a generation between early NES and later NES. I don't think so. So, uh, yeah, a big difference between arcade and this one is that you only get two options instead of four options, which does change in the second game. You do get four options in Gradius 2. I felt like parts of it kind of felt like an afterthought, which is fine. This is a
mhm,
early Konami game, and this was done by a developer who had never directed a game before. But even things for the time, like the music, I kind of thought was more of an afterthought, even for the time being. Like not a whole lot there,
mhm.
and some of like the enemy designs, I mean, I like the way the game looks, but, I felt like the first game lacked a little bit of focus,
Mhm.
which just it just makes sense. It just makes sense that this game preceded, other shooter games
Well, yeah,
or
especially in that time period where, like, story wasn't a given that a video game would have a story, you know?
Yeah, and like how I say with so many games that we review on here, this game would be great as a roguelike. Because like you're already giving them weapon options. So and Gradius, there were four mainline, but then there were other ones, at least one other one that wasn't a mainline Gradius game. Gradius 4 was released on PS2, and I think it looks really nice. I looked up some videos of it. Uh, and of course, roguelikes became a lot more popular later on, but yeah, why not make a Gradius game now where you have even more options of abilities and upgrades that you can get um, now that you know have it established that way.
Well,
Ranks.
speaking of other Gradius games, when this came out on the NES around the same time, there was another game released called Gradius on Game Boy. And that technically, I guess, would be Gradius 2 because it was not a direct port. It featured unique levels and unique enemies and things like that. So, for some reason, that was back when they would just name the Game Boy version the same thing as the home console version, but it would be a completely different game. That was like a little bit of an era for a little bit. And then they eventually made Grandius the Interstellar Assault, which was called Grandius 2. I keep saying Gradius 2 in Japan. So this is officially the sequel. Came out in November of 91 in Japan and January of 92 here. Yeah, it's kind of like a confusing Final Fantasy style title thing.
Yeah. For side-scrolling shooters, it's considered one of the best early side-scrolling shooters. So, and then yeah, there's four, and then there's other ones that aren't in the main series. One of these games that makes me feel like I don't know a lot about retro games, I guess, because I know we played I'm gonna say it wrong,
Mhm.
Exevius, which was around the same time that this game came out. But
There was also there was also a Gradius 2 in the arcades, which is a different game, so just, like, all kinds of confusing as to
right,
what the true 2 is.
right, and compares in comparison to the arcade game, the original NES game is more simplified. And
Mhm,
yeah, the development between one and two is pretty impressive because they're able to fit a lot more of the game on two than they did on one. I don't know if they had a larger cart size for two. But overall, this game does not rank that high for me, but I think that it is
mm.
super ambitious. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I saw in Sean's notes, he couldn't be here today, he actually preferred the Game Boy version. I wouldn't go that far, but it is impressive what they were able to do on that original Game Boy, and it just shows you how much file compression had come along from '86 to '91 when this, game came out. It was a big leap. No Konami code this time, though.
hmm, hmm. Speed run, any percentage is 11 minutes, 4 seconds. There's been no recent top 20 runs, and I couldn't get the Wayback Machine to work for any of the initial reviews on this. So, um, no real news for there. This one is 123 for me, and I'll mention now
Ooh,
that Exdevious, which I guess I'm saying correctly, we reviewed all the way back on episode 57, and I don't know where I ranked it at the time, but it is now 135 for comparison.
alright. So, the NES version, I ranked it number 72, which puts it in the neighborhood of it's right below Ghosts and Goblins on NES and right above Fire and Ice on NES. and I don't remember liking Fire and Ice this much that it's this high, so I'll have to revisit that and figure out why that's there. And then the Game Boy version I ranked lower. I did not think it was better. I put that at 86, so still pretty close. It's below Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, and it's above Demon's Crest on Super Nintendo.
I did not rank
So,
the Game Boy version. I'll do that later. I ranked the
okay, yeah.
NES. I totally
Neither one are top 50 material, but they're also at least still in that line of these are decent games. I don't know where that line really begins. You really have to get down to, let's see, like the 130 at this point before you hit games where I'm like, I'm never playing this again.
well,
is is 130 entries down.
this is certainly a game that makes sense to be on the service because there's not too many games that are side-scrolling shooters. It's Konami. It was
Mhm.
certainly important for the time. It was huge. It was like I would say it's huge in Japan. Like looking at the numbers they had, it was second biggest I think tabletop game of '83 or whatever it was, whatever year it came out. Uh, so it definitely belongs in the service. Just not one I'm recommending to too many people. No.
All right. Well, let's find out what we're playing when we come back, and
Wait,
maybe we'll be
wait,
recommending that.
wait,
Mhm.
we're missing a whole other game here. Hold on. Gradius
We
2?
are?
Are we
I talked
doing?
about Gradius too.
Oh, Gradius 2. Okay. I didn't realize we were doing both together. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
Gradius
I
2.
talked about how it came out in 1991 in Japan, 92 North America. Um, if you have more thoughts on it, let me know. You're talking about
Okay, then
you're
I
talking
have
about the Interstellar Assault, right? The Game Boy version?
right. Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. This was 75 my list then, and um, let's move on. Then I ruined your transition. I thought we were doing games one at a time. I didn't
Oh,
realize. So so
yeah, sorry. No.
so wait, we didn't do Gradius 2 for NES? No,
Is that on there? Is it on the
no,
service?
no. It's not on there.
I think these are the only 2 Gradius games on the service.
Interstellar. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I put Gradius 2 on my list. That's right. Okay.
Because it was yeah, it's confusing. There was Gradius 2 in the arcades, there was a second Gradius game on Game Boy, and then there was Gradius, 2 in Japan, which we got as Gradius: The Interstellar Assault. So there's, like, 3 versions of Gradius 2. It's very confusing.
I'll change notes later. Okay, okay, listeners, let's do the randomizer.
Sorry. Alright, let's go in guns a-blazing here. Ooh, perfectly timed. So this was fate. We will be talking when we come back about 2 Donkey Kong games, Donkey Kong Land on Game Boy and Donkey Kong 94 on Game Boy. So both kind of starting points for the Game Boy Donkey Kong property. So let's very appropriately timed with Bonanza coming out.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe some people will find our channel looking up more Donkey Kong content. So thank you very much. If this was your first time finding the channel, leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for subscribing. It really helps us out, helps the channel grow. And leave a comment down below. What should I pin this week? Let us know what your favorite Grandia game is, and be specific because there's like 6 different Grandia 2s, bunch of different Grandias out there. I keep
Right.
saying Grandia, man. This whole
I
segment is
think I think I
cursed.
messed you up last week with the PS the PlayStation
Yeah,
Grandia game. I think I messed you up.
Gradius,
Yeah,
man.
I think I messed you up with Grandia last week, and then it got in your mind. Um,
Yep.
but 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 chances are in post production I'm leaving all this in. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Super Mario Brothers 3 or anything here. Like it's a game that people casually know, so we could treat it casually.
Yeah.
Uh, but yes, leave a comment down below. Here's what I'll pin. Let us know if me mispronouncing Gradius constantly was a bother to you this episode, and we'll go from there. And we'll see you when we're back from our hiatus in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, we will have bonus episodes, so stay tuned. Bye.